Put your sniper, and yes, you really only need one, near Gate 1 to provide covering fire for advancing teammates. This locomotive explosive is the cart. It's kind of like a dynamite football that the blue team carries to the end of the map. It moves up the track when blue players are standing near it, and you only need 3 players to make it move at top speed. Standing near the cart replenishes your ammo or metal at the rate of a level 1 dispenser. The cart can be used as a shield from enemy fire, but in general, I recommend eliminating enemies before you push forward. People are always asking me, Evan, how do I know it's the right time to use my overcharge? What if it's too soon? Well, my golden rule is to always try to hit your Uber, you know, that magical invincibility ray your medic emits, after an opposing medic does. Doing so assures that their invincibility will expire before yours does. Nobody likes a premature Uber activator. Demo men usually do well here, where they can cast down sticky grenades at cart pushers and harass approaching blues. There's a fine home for your teleporter right beneath this overhang. A good general rule is to build your tele as close to the front line as you can without it being in immediate danger. If you're the only NG, ask another player to temporarily swap classes to help upgrade your gear. One bad habit I hate to see some teams commit is to stand directly on the control point. If good defense meant standing directly on what you're trying to protect, soccer teams would just all pile into their goal net. Instead, focus on occupying bottlenecks and high ground to give your team the upper hand for dealing splash damage. Okay, if you're on blue and you're having trouble sealing the deal at this first capture point, use demo men and soldiers to bombard from this ledge. That should clear the way for pyros, heavies, and medics to carry the cart forward. I've seen sentry turrets do alright here. The high rock walls make it hard for demo men to grenade your stuff. It's also pretty tough for a spy to sneak in unnoticed. From this perch, I've seen a well-timed Kritzkrieg take 5 or 6 blue lives before fizzling out. A defending medic should gather a couple of soldiers here at the start of a round. Badwater is big, and there are plenty of nooks like this where a cloaked or even uncloaked spy can go completely unnoticed as the attacking team rushes past. Join their conga line when you sense that their attention is on what's ahead. The direct route to the roof, up the stairs, is more likely to be watched by defenders. I like going this way to attack the roof. It also gives you an option to retreat into the backyard area. Again, it's all about owning the high ground. You can't capture the second point without controlling this roof first. Send an Ubered heavy or pyro up here with some support behind him, and you should be able to clear out any defense. Not many of these types of spaces exist in Team Fortress 2. Extraneous zones that don't lead, well, anywhere. Blue team ignores this area entirely once it's captured the second point, and that makes it the perfect place for a red teleporter. Hide the device somewhere in this back lot, like behind one of the shipping crates, and your teammates will appear behind the blue team after they've captured the second point. As a scout, you can double or triple jump into the structure. Doing so usually gives you a clean lane to get behind the enemy team, or even run straight into their spawn point. Don't go for kills, just harass the red team to draw some of them away from the front line. If you've got a cracked sniper, this elevated window has the best view. I'd recommend equipping the Razorback shield if you're going to hang here though. Doing so will offer some protection against spies. This elevated hallway is an ideal spot for an attacking engineer to set up shop. A teleporter here, with a sentry to guard it, brings the blue team steps away from the front line. Sure, you have a pretty narrow field of view through this window, but sniping isn't always about leading your team in kills. The most effective snipers I've played against know how to be a nuisance. They know how to get in your head. If enemy players start to change classes to take care of you, or take longer routes that they wouldn't normally take to avoid your magnified gaze, you've already won. If you're an attacking engineer, nestling a teleporter up here can be a good idea. That's assuming, of course, that the defending team seems like it's being passive and hunkering down on the final control point. A turret placement I see all the time for the defending team is down here. As a demo man, without line of sight, you can lob sticky bombs through this window and make that spot uninhabitable. Ugh, I can't tell you how many times I've yelled at my team for ignoring this room on defense. This square room is kind of like that really comfortable couch in your basement. And the enemy team is all like, oh man, dude, is it cool if I crash here tonight and like just chill in an area that overlooks your final control point with all kinds of unique tactical advantages? No, that's definitely not acceptable. Don't allow enemy soldiers, snipers, and demo men to be here. Spies love to use it as an entry point too. You don't have to occupy this spot continuously on D, just enough to give the enemy the impression that they can't stop by without meeting some resistance. If a sniper is giving you trouble up here, ask a demo man to throw a few grenades through the window. If all else fails, you can reach this perch by running to the right and up the stairs. If blue team's attackers have any kind of competent medic, you're going to need multiple sentries on the ground with overlapping fields of fire. One sentry isn't enough to defend this final point.